Page 3, isn't it? Yeah.
Supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, know of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, know of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With supreme science, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one God to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all ever devote homage. To a worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme face I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. Sigandism thinks as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the power of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra?
Yep.
I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on Mess of Vultures Mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perfection. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharavatīputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristics, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely and dwell on the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as the truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Tayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Aryavrukeshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharivattiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aryavrukeshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. I prostrate to the gathering of Dakinis and the three chakras, who abide in the holy yoga of using space. By your powers of clairvoyance and magical emanations, look after the practitioners like a mother her child. Akasamara Sashara Samara.
Agasamana Jandana Samana Tayata Gati Paragati Parasamgati so.
By the teaching of the three jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they become non-existent, may they become pacified, may they be completely pacified. May the negative forces opposed to Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, and may we be separated from problems and harmful conditions to Dharma, and may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here right now. Sashi Purgation Shurame Tudram Rira Linchi Niri Gyempadi Sange Shindu Mite Uwa Kirogunanda Shin Jupasho Jetsun Lama Rampa Kinanji Jubu Jinde Chita Sambe Luje Chape Jugi Baba Ram Guru Ratna Mandala Kandiya Taya.
Zanje Junan Zoji Chanan La Chenjo Bada Dani Jazonji Dagi Chuchinji Ve Sonamji Dora Penji Sanje Duparashu Zanje Junan Zoji Chanan La Chenjo Bada Dani Jaz Dagi Chuchinji Ve Sonamji Dora Penji Sanje Duparashu Zanje Junan Zoji Chanan La Chenjo Bada Dani Jazonji Dagi Chuchinji Ve Sonamji Dola Benje Sanje Dobara Show Kangeto Zeni Save Tao Tanje Pamichra Imagine and then the one day la chance lo don't you just in the job. Cheche sense kanje nendwe chana pema dinde jato la sowa de so shende lendo shos. Oh, da changwa la kondo dile dan shoba dile che. Ene nga zo tanda kulonji komchi kyago sirwa.
Good evening, good morning to everyone. So first of all, let us meditate on setting up a proper motivation.
Ta tamo kulondi nga zo tanda nga zo di zinda cho nyaya di ranyi chikbo ke tanda mayi barwa. Simje shen la ane pambo bashik tuya che du nga nyingi yu simje bashik la pambo tuya che wala anga rangi simde la ta chik shiwa dan dewa digi kuku yore te jinga tinde ki tanda cho nyaya di yang ane chik ranyi la sim shiwa digi tuya ki tablam di nye ane te nyambal di ne samla dan ni nyamlen che di cheba di ane tuwa simje shen la pambo tuwa chigi yin se gyumzen tinde ki chirdo ane nga tanda di chodi nyingi yo sambe kone kulon chanjusum kulon seta kuresro.
So today's motivation is as follows. We listen to these Dharma teachings, not only for the sake of ourselves, but for the sake of all sentient beings. And think how, in order to fulfill the wishes of all sentient beings to be happy, you first need to have peaceful and happy mind yourself. So for that, you're listening to these precious teachings, and then you'll practice them. And then it will lead you to the state of realization where you can fulfill the hopes and wishes of all sentient beings to become happy and enlightened ultimately.
Oh ya, da gawa gom tiri nga zo. Dinde ya, jese la nin so dun, chu dinde chi tuyu chungwa di. Kewa sambu yin, tenje, gawa gom resro.
And rejoice in the fact that today you have a precious opportunity to listen to the teachings on 37 practices of Bodhisattvas.
yeah. So kissing the Dembala Jugo, Jamdo Sheo, Demba said the Karim Shesa. That in Jamdo God. In it, shaking is raw.
So last time we spoke about how refuge is the entrance to the Buddha Dharma, and we described what Buddha Dharma is. And today we're going to talk about refuge in more detail.
Jamdo said the Jamdo said the also Dishigora, Chida. Yi also Jap draws the banner on the 60 potential Jap said the Granjap Cherry. On the Chaba in the Diana. Chaba to roll on Bosogura. The toy is a jewel on the Chava Jap Segura Chava Jap. Yeah, Dandang on the in the Langala in the Langa din Langa Nyanga in the Yuna and Dilla on the traffic police stand in the Yungje Khalil Tangures and Moda the Kashetang Kasheka Chido. The Jabra on the Shimation on the Moda Jogotone, Tungajana, and the Kange Tungi Mango Yungura. It's not Tungi Oyatile Jabarwa, Jabs. The draws the on the same day, Jab the choice on the same day, draws the da. Jabia de Nichidang, Negab Gitungile Javachawatang, a sim Gitungile Java. Sim Gitungi. Maranzo Yigidungi. Semnalaya dachi. Pena Nide Yungurwa dachi, Semnala. Chimajivat in the show, Yomakatulane. Ujo Yundenda in the Tembayina. And this is Simdili. Simdiaji. Yichisayo, similar Simjukia, Simgi Dungele Tavachia, or Dindeji Yunguinza, Dindegi, in Rodan Rigbadilla, in Jamdo Sigures Jamdora.
So refuge in Tibetan language is Kyabdro. It consists of two syllables. Kyab means protection and draw means to go. So it's basically it's going under protection. And we can think of it through an example when it rains and our clothes become wet. We need something to cover us from the rain. And that's what becomes our protection for the moment. It's umbrella. And another example is when we go somewhere and the road is dangerous. We have police standing different parts of the road, and they stop some cars and they let go other cars, and they check that the speed of the cars is not too much, because if it's too much, then the journey becomes really dangerous. So they are doing their part of protection of us. And in general, if we talk about refuge, it's a type of protection that we need in order to be freed from suffering of the mind. So when we are unhappy, we go to the three jewels, we think about the qualities and their kindness and their ability to protect us from our suffering.
Jamdo de la Chigi Jamdo, Nanga Jamdo Sigua, any Chiriba than the issue to Zoina, and this is a Kunjola, Ijichigiorva. The Iji Chenet, and it did the Suzukangi and the Shidu, Kunjo Javrochis, and it and I Hindu to Zoina. I Hindu Nangse, Hajamangore, that Haje to Hakeleni to Zoin, one ju Keleni to the Tajik but one jugla, Iji Chen, and Dinga Javrochis, Iji Chinetilla. At the Tedigangi. Dungeda Javachim me Javalea Chidu, ni Tindejila, that's some not Tangiora Zilang, ni Dachi Shulu Sangma, Javachima, some much Tangiora, da Te Mancha Sedigangi, Dungile Javia, Te Javu de Anchik Denko Boravajila, Jamdo Chigiora, Tindejila, that Chiriveta, Jamdo Sigio Reserva.
So there are two types of refuge, outer and inner refuge. For non-Buddhists, their refuge is God, Kunchok in Tibetan. And we know how Hindu and Muslims and Christians, they all believe in God and they are praying and asking God to give them happiness in this life.
다 낭바게 잠로라디 카르셰르스나 다 페징에 디젠투 토네 셰기 인스타 다 요르다스라
As for the Buddhists, we have 6 parts to refuge, like 6 aspects of refuge.
아 당보디 잠르 주시 잡스트웨 유시 잠르 ngo치 잠르 랍자치 잠르 ngo치 잠르 예와치 잠르 랍자치 잠르 펜윤치 tukchaso
Ngachas.
투여르 투
You,
잠르 주 ngo 예와 랍자
Lapja.
펜 nga도 anga
Truchas.
투데
Trudu.
저는 tukchede ngacha ngacha데 저는 tukcha시다 간시 하모
You, Mo, Yewa, Lapja, Penye, Truchas.
oh yeah that took your rela
So we're miscounting on the categories. The first one is causes of refuge. The second one is the object of refuge. The third one is the nature of refuge. The fourth one is divisions of refuge. Fifth is precepts of refuge. And sixth is benefits.
그다 아 잠도 주세데 가르스나 잠도 세데 ngobo 봐 ngobo 봐 ngobo 인자 ko debu로 와 debu나 줄라디네 shum고라 어디 시고로 봐 ngobo 미다 ngo보 미다 ngo보 말다 드링게 깨제 디잖아 야고 위서 말해
Yani gerçekten ona gelen.
아
Yani gerçekten ona. Gügi koru.
잠도 세데 ngobo 와서 미다고로 와서 봐 세상 고 데부레 세상 줄라디네 shum고래 세상에 주카르레세 레기도 왔다
So Geshe is saying that it looks like I'm failing to understand him. I actually do understand him.
No,
I just need some correction.
no. My pronunciation no clear. Ngobo and ngombo.
Yes, there are words that.
Ngombo means blue, right? Blue color, right? Ngombo is not.
I didn't even think about it. So there are many words in Tibetan that are pronounced in the same way, but yeah.
Similar. Ngombo. No beer. You want to drink beer? Tonight.
What's happening today? Okay, so.
Tonight, my mind's not really clear.
I'll try again. So we're talking about the cause of refuge. So refuge is considered impermanent. It falls into the category of impermanence, and therefore it's a result. And since it's a result, it has to have a cause. Do you think, Anna?
Loose symbol, isn't it? But making complicated. Sometimes symbol become complicated. Complicated. Ayo, yeah. 제가 다 규딜라 오늘 예원이 요레스 직바당 대화스 직바당 대화스 니 샤오레스.
And this cause has 2 divisions: fear and faith.
다 직바디 당당한저 두스레. 당당한저 저런저 내 가시 수불라 나자도와 강이도 와라. 저는 수불라 내 나자든데도와. 수부나 자유디 심라이다 강에 요래 카요 말해 수부당 심 되어 시리요래로 아니 심라 강에 유디 심라 동해 연구도 근데 예배 가둘라 아니 수수 아 나가라 동해 된지도 하고는 하고 다디 제 단도 연결 동해 현다든데 연구요도 하고도 아니 심나라 신날레기도 알아 심나라 마지오 망보지 연구도 어디다 아니 하고르드 딘데기 다 동해 때문에 이게 동해 축타고도 가는 지역으로서는 먼저 나 근데 진짜 강에 된지 요나 같이 그래 나랑 직불 하나 같이 그래 나랑 팀에 캔슬로 하나 같이 그래 나랑 신이 년도를 지나 같이 그래 봐 먼저 신이 가 하고 말아 아니 년도로 이제 깨베나 배사로 치다 심이로 지나다 용사 말해서 근데라 직다글로 직바 동해들란 직배 그 로직 깨고 왔다디 간다 저는 가시에 쓰고 내놔서요 대 동해기 직바지래 돼요 아디다 된대지 양자 산이 딜을 하고 지구나 같이 고랬으면 된대게 직바지 여비나 안데 뭐스는 되게요 뭐스는 직바디 뭐스는 하고 체 직바디 당보대 동해 직바디 하고 체고
So again, there are two categories within the course, fear and faith. So as for the fear, we all have experience of being ill, and when the body is ill and there's some pain or a lot of pain, we feel that this also troubles our minds. And understanding that there is pain, we also recognize that even more pain is coming later, and that produces a lot of fear. So we sometimes have really strong fear, thinking, what happens if I have cancer? Or what happens if I die? What happens if I die and go to a lower realm? Because there's no power. We don't have power to choose now where we go. What happens if I'm alone and there is no one to protect or help me? And all different kinds of fear arise. And understanding and recognizing that there is even more pain that might come. For example, if today we have pain, then there is no guarantee that tomorrow there will be no pain. It may happen that there will be even more pain than today. So first, recognizing the suffering and having this fear arise is the first cause for us to take refuge.
아니 데라 저 단남과 산제비 균대가 남샤디 삼몽고 당고래 타고 ngoyne zuri로 규단 되비 남샤디 ngoyne zur라 남바이나레 남바메나레 균대 나나 도그래로 말한서 아니 레 야고진 레스나 액션으로 수수 드린 지 펜더 밀레 삼바 상보직 턴에 밀러라고 야고체 지 수수 동해 강에 된데 되어디 오늘 서버콤 딜 밀러 동해 투어 마서 아니 근데 제지 개와심 뭐 야고직 제언디 상관라네 본다 많이 가라라 기부도 가라 본다 아다 드린 야고티 송하라 이 개와 야고치야 중송 안 되게 니데 기부고도 니람 기부당 산샤야 라용데 셈나나 가와 드링기 내가 야고 제와 되게就是야고 제외게 네 둔데디 드링이 기와 산이 니마데 산이 야랑 쇼베네 삼바조 지 용구도 알아 다른 거랑 상물로 냠뇨요 알아 어디 양세양 삼당 거 내려 근데 딘데기 네 배직 셈바 상보지게 네 자와 액션로 찍게 아니 상상라 니마 찍고 삼바조 니마니 상상라 둔다지 상상라 다와 찍되던데라 디 필링 된데 야고던데 되게 세상 되게 가르스나 그 야고질라 되네 아니 대우 야고지 총화디 총화를 쉐버리 다데로 디상무 당고래 해성들어
Whether we're Buddhists or not, we all are under the law of karma, the law of causes and results. Because karma works for everyone based on whatever action we do. If, for example, today we help other people, if we are patient, if we do virtue, if we are good people, in the evening, after a long day of work and good behavior, we feel satisfied and we go to sleep with light heart. We sleep well and wake up in the morning happy and relaxed, knowing that yesterday went well and today hoping that this day will go well again. So this is something to think about again and again. And sometimes we are able to continue in such a relaxed and virtuous mood for a day or for a week or for a month. And it's a very happy moment. It's a very happy period of our life. So we know that from a good cause, a good result arises. This is something we need to think about a lot.
Adine nya samsala simnala kondodang dojadang thadodang majedang tinde shukchumucha ande shukchumuye kala susu control chimadoche ani susu samba majiwas ani mishenla samba majiwas tinde chagdo angzero ende chadu ani bonda ma nyagala bola ta tingma samba majiwa ani nilam de da nilam duja nadme sa tinde tang nilam duja tinde tang ani sansho ya lang de samba majiwacha 안틴데 시제야 semba jiba 시제 쇼지 나 가시에시다다 냐마바 로 충중 간라로 바 충중 간라 파마다 인데 직도와 요거 매워서 지지 충중 간게네 동해인데 가마지바인데 액션 단다에 semba jiba 시대데 요근데 로 주종아 뉴시 숨지인데 그래서 냐데니데 뭐 가르스나 레다 규미게와 낭베시나 규미게와 규두자레 와텔레테네 데부도 동에 마지바디 중화디 공원이즈디 레스타 와 어디 땅은 상월로 냠뇽디 요레사 이 하코마고 저러면 정말 좀 메제나나데 로데게 요레스라
And sometimes it happens that we have a lot of negative emotions in our minds. We have anger or attachment or arrogance, jealousy, and so forth. And we don't feel that we have any power over them. Not only we make upset ourselves, but we only upset other people. And that causes us have bad sleep. We are tired, we're unhappy, we're moody. And it comes from the young age. We tend to keep this heavy mood for a very long time. Sometimes it happens like for 10 or 15 years. And we all have that experience.
That indeed, only le Gawachewaltine, Devu Sedilla Jiwa, Nikawachimadi, Dendrol Hadami Combatogore. Ale Migewa Chevaladine, Le Dugja Chevaladine, and Gawachimadi, Sedilla Majiwa, Sedilla Majiwa Tunge. And the Gawachima Yando, Nison, Tendela Jawaling Yore, Chazantang Aranzo Susu, Jawa de la Leg Yawakazuchedo, Le Migo Kazuchedo, that is Dago Yore. 이 당위니즈레 말하는 단다 단다사과 수수 야가 가지고 제도로봐 도가 가지고 제도로봐 이 상담은 군이 많이다나 배지 먼저 도가디 망아 레기요 요르다 많잖아 도가디 레 미게와디 망아 레기요나 다 미게와디라 레 미게와디 남바산지베 슈나라 미게와디 샤고치야요레 다야요레 와 코메오스야 탐람이요다 디양은저 첩산지 요레다 말한테 첩산 낭바출을 주나 첩산 망고요레 근데 미게와 레데 다하세다 고란데 차차레 당아 데 미그르즈 국대 말에 코메오스 코파 타고스 장마서야게 탐람이요레 와 탐람데 이 제비나 아니 수수 셈바데 장마 미게와데 장마 차야게 뒤주지 요레 제가 네 양은 저 낭배 나라 쇼고에는 캡산직 요래 캡산 빼첨보래 다대로
So when you do virtue, as a result, you'll not only have happiness in this life, but also will have a better rebirth in the future. You'll be reborn in higher realms. If you do non-virtue, it results in probably being reborn in lower realms. And it's good to analyze, to think how much virtue and non-virtue you have already accumulated, and see for yourself what is the probable result of your past actions. It may happen that there is much more non-virtue than wholesome deeds. And the good thing of the good thing of being a Buddhist is that we have a method of liberating ourselves from the results of our non-virtuous actions. We can purify whatever we've done, and there is no need to wait for the result to ripen. So this is a huge advantage of being a Buddhist.
근데 다니 디고 다니 타고 된데 example 여러분은 요리는 안다 저런저다 로주는 킹 아쇼카스다 게다 좀 쇼로라 담링 거라나라 로주는 게다 인조 제 거라나 킹 제네 아니 베 예보 제네 아니 베 미스 베드 베징 베드 미베 사야사야 같은데 세 담아 잡제로 담링 베드 이시에는 차단거랑 칼로 줄었다 그러네 봐봐 누정원절에 가진 칼로 줄도 와 공항도 눈이 깨고디 쇼중을했다 제고 베껴다진지 그런 질러다 니 줘버진다 미 찍니 말다 쌓였다 그런 줘버지 낭바출로 쇼 샥버체 아니 최년에 전에 세들라 다좀 배고만 더라 하고는데 다좀 배고만 더 제단데 빼지그래 들어 example
And some of you are new, and sometimes you wonder, is there liberation from such an unhappy situation where we've done probably much more non-virtue than virtue in our lives? And there is an example of King Ashoka, who was a very famous king, and he killed millions of people. It's due to his participation in wars. He defeated the whole Asia. He killed a lot of people, not one or two, but millions of people. And in the end, he purified his misdeeds, his evil actions, and it was a very hard work, and he became an arhat in the end of his life. He achieved the state of arhatship.
알아서 지주멜라 펄라이나 지주멜라다 산제 체들 산제 베다 빼샤고라고 산제오라 지주멜라로 산제 지주멜라 체들 미숨줄하고세 tundu다 빼망고 세라 땅능아 잡제 세라던 베투 불라다 부다 심제 tundu세블다 장가요 말이다 세라 땅에다 휴스테그로 세라바디 아니 미고랑 숨줄하고세라 되게 저거지 아니 최체네 다베디고 다네 체딜라 산제고 마타버지나 다데 간주다 good news 망고다 알아 간주라 빼야고든데 망고도 얻어서
And also the example of Jitsumi Larepa, he actually attained Buddhahood, even though in his life, due to his magic, he killed more than 30 people, a lot of animals, and lots of insects, like countless animals and insects. But he still attained Buddhahood because he managed to purify his misdeeds. And this is the good news, that we have hope.
제가 당으로서 겨워딜라 디고 망고지 사샤와디 샤과치마도 나나 겨워치마 녜송 내가 겨워려야래 다데 둔둘라 겨워려나 뺏사서래로 당도 탄다 지단 야와다 이다다 데 망고 셰그르 될라다 두저 이지제 가고로 가면서 둔두 먼저 미그 통해 둔두들라 동에 셔지도 와로 동에라와 미 고주체 코란도 난공 둔두지기 찔러서 아니 미게다 미 누구 셔다 미게다 튼둘라다 라운제 요만 가라도 미스니 된 간돌라 라운 거에 스케시 작으로 메셔가지고 튼두 라운 상모 포르고 열어. 근데 내게 튼두질에 겨울에나다 네 동에 같죠 열어 제가 어디들 안에 셈나라 직바실리기도 하. 딜레나다 딜레 교배하고 뉴버드 술래 열어. 땅도 상모 땅으로. 딜레 교배 뉴버드 술래 nga nge millennia chana nga chap thu gure ba nga tambling la wo famous chana nga chap thu gure nga la follower wa be million people nga chap thu gure zero re zero di chap nam pesha ke million billion trillion yu ne chap thu mare ada chana world famous ka de ne de dunghe de je shi ru de nge dong ji gwa de chap thu mare ani chana la ya mi ma go follower million people follower yu ne 수치게 편도가 말해. 와, 시도도 수수 상마 수수 내 전도에면 수치게 편도가 말 뒤에. 다 편도니도 술을 상당인데, 네? 단다디 개비 군조 숨 시제다. 잡된 바보 산제 군조당 잡무의 최 군조 잡르베 따로 긴두 군조 시다네 개비 군조 숨 산제 신이들은 이것도 코나 직바타달레 태샤 아니 직바타 마세 란 직벌레 태신 동네레 태 직바다트베 탑라 케버레샤 코나라 계zen데 또 그런 거 계gen 템베이나 잡야가 누가 또 세상 사람들 다 잡유디 제 연대신인데 아니 텔라이 다 대화디 틀리고 디 연대인데 먼저 연대도 통나 대화를 통고로 봐 대화 통인데 아니 텔라 지다 좋게 지셔야 반대에게 값게 대화디 또 원도지 대화해야 돼 간라 자나 야고 열어 와 대화래요 여와 먹고 열어
So if we fail to purify our misdeeds in this life, there is a huge chance that we'll be reborn in lower realms. We do not see hungry ghosts and hell realms. We don't understand how they live, but we can see through the example of animals on this earth that animals kill each other, they eat each other, they have absolutely no freedom, and they have so much suffering. So this alone produces a lot of fear in ourselves. So the question is, who can save or protect us from that fear, from that perspective of being reborn in lower realms? If we rely on something that we consider as good in this life, for example, we really like being famous, we like when we're followed, when we're liked by other people. But no matter how many followers we have in social media, million or billion of people, and they all like our posts and whatever we do there, they still cannot help. They still will not be able to protect us from the perspective fear. And so the question is still, who can do that for us? And the answer is that three jewels: the teacher, the jewel of Buddha, the teacher, the jewel of Dharma, which is the actual protection, and the jewel of Sangha, or the friends, spiritual friends on the path. They are skilled in protection, and they're beyond the suffering that we're experiencing. And through seeing their qualities, we generate faith in our minds. And among the different kinds of faith, it's mainly longing faith.
그래서 개발해야 돼 가려나 아니 바로 왜 연대 통연대 장갈 심나라 지갈항랑 연구도 어디 대버서로 대버서야 돼 당원 심당去당마요나去那个 정말 통연거다 이제 심디 녀과 매버치 심마투버치 심디 산제 이 구연대 통연이 이 당에 대어치 다 산제 이 변화 산제 좀 된데 이 최송선조 덴바시 레준데 아니 준대 남샤 두소 송샤바도서 당원에 덴베 송만나 신원에레 삼데 아니 이 집에 대화 아니 덤버거나 단당한서 메지리나 동해 강에 생마지 망고 쉬지도 알아 덤버거나 디엘레 대대요 유에나다 아트 딘데기 대대 유엔덴지 유에나다 말레 딘데지 토구도 삼백에 아니 검대기 대화되다 단다 ngar samdana de thame theva de kana jana ya go khasha yi chewale ja go ta de su samdana re theva sum yore anda 했던 벌라디 교비하게 누버데도 제가 나야 된대지 코란 동에 지버탄달에 퇴샤 퇴외 연대도 당 알아라 있는 된대지 고도 삼에 셈나라 대화질레도 수수 셈디 겹 문절에 야 도용도 하고 도셔도 하셔서 직버들 때네 니 대화데다 동해에 교비하게 누버디 이기도 이 교배 동해에다 술래 열어서는 산제를 냐질라도 그래서 배샤게 민도 도부tom 당 알아도 되지 배샤라 자침보 세월의 셈 동행은에나 배샤게 겨구 말에 배나 셈게 등상 안아서 디어와 가서 저 등상게 anxiety 세로 depression 세로 당 스트레스라 세도 상마 셈게 동해래요. 그래서 산지에 이지 칭이나 곰제위나 세도 그렇다. 뭐. 다 배샤게 세도에 민도 아니 도부tom에게 상상을 동해 태워서도 상담하시는 스트레스 많은 당 맞죠 많으세요. 아니 배샤 싫어 배즈잖아. 배샤게 스트레스 내용 그래. 배샤게 아니 감달리 그래. 톡발리 그래. 생각마죠 뭐 용그러면 세도면도. 또 세도에 누버디다 산제를 여인자 아니 되라. 타에 대바셔야 돼. 다 대발레당 김된디. 먼저 되라 다 삼루당 롭존체 곰 접촉을 해서
So, so there are three types of faith. The first one is called enthusiastic faith or inspired faith, and that is based on awe. We look at the Buddha and we see the qualities of a Buddha clearly. It's like water. When it becomes clear, we can see through. And this is the type of faith that appears in our mind, that gets generated in our mind when we see the qualities of Buddha and the three jewels. The second type of faith is called trusting faith, and this is the one that we have when we hear the teaching of the Buddha on karma, cause and effect, and other teachings that Buddha proclaimed. And the third type of faith is called longing faith. It's the faith when we feel that these are the qualities of the three jewels, and these qualities I can also cultivate in myself, and I really want them. And this is longing faith. We're longing to become the jewels ourselves. And we can see how the three jewels have the power to protect us from our suffering. It's not money or friends who protect us. If there's a real suffering in our minds, like stress, anxiety, depression, money will not help us. It will only make it worse, actually. But Buddha can. Buddha, through his teachings, can help us dispel all the kinds of suffering that we have in our minds. Friends are not able to do that. Sometimes friends make it even worse. And when we have money, it still causes us stress, anxiety, and worry. And instead of relying on something that will not help us, we should better rely on the three jewels, and through our studies and meditation, we will achieve the state of peace in our mind.
와야 제가 안에는 근데 군주 숨но 직청의 디그러 와서 숨 같이 그래 직청의 디그러 와서
Why do we need to rely on all three jewels? Why don't we pick up just one?
그래서 숨 고거를 김제 갈라는 가서 몇 배시야나로 배시야위나 아니 먼저 내가 잡신 보지요나 안데 맹강 로라로 맹강도 돼 멤버 땡으로 멤버 고고도 내가 잡신 보지라 멤버 고고도 멤버 땡뭐 som지 나자래 멤버 데 따제체 아니 멘데가 아래 멘데로 멤버 고고도 멘 고고도 다 never 사진 보이나 메시스 사도 말에 값스 잠 두고 말에 메요 나스 고고도 메샤부 고고도 하러 딜라 나스 고고도 Other Petinanshi, Nganazo Tanda, never call never Simji Tamje, Nangbe Shunation, never. Nyomo, the Jashita Timus in Nade. Never even, never something was read there. Chazan, that dealer, and the Captain Bobo, member Nanshi, Sanji Kunjoko, Captain Malanga Dunyeter, Matalam Dunyeter. Jammu, the men Nanshi, Dungus, men and Luke another 17 Nanshi, and Jammu, Chogunjo, the Yamnation, Susu Simgidung, Susu said the word, Chogunjo Jammu. That dealer watching you, Chog to watching you, and Jab to bet that men shall go Nanshi, and Kundugunjo go Tichana, Captain Bobo, Jammu, Jab to bet that troubles to the Desum member, men shall go to Nanshi, and 군조 숨기 cap 용단데 남바산 예외기 줌젠데 레질레 되네 군조 숨디 cap 위차래 성들어
Yalla kale kale smran.
아이
Tensapan.
This
Tensapan. This.
아이
So why do we need three? We need three. We can see through the example, if we suffer from some dangerous illness, first thing we need to do is to go to hospital. And in the hospital, we're looking for a doctor to prescribe us certain medicine so that we get better. And we don't know how much medicine we need to take, and we don't know how to do injections. We cannot really help ourselves in treatment. That's why we need nurses to help us. So we are exactly the same in this situation. We are dangerously ill because we are in samsara. We're ill with the three poisonous afflictive emotions. And we need a very strong reliance on Buddha, who shows us the path to this health, to the freedom from this illness. We also need to rely on Dharma, which is actual protection, because through the instructions that Buddha gave us, through his Dharma, we are able to transform. And we also need Sangha, who are like nurses. They assist us on our way, on our path to this health. And these are the reasons why we take all three jewels as objects of our refuge.
제가 산제 남바 산제에 루셰드 산제 captain 로봇이다는데 컨데레 라비니 captain 버버스 랑가마 탑란된 버면이 이 산제에게 틱딘데 송어라 도가나라 템난디 버티 추이 미투싱스 투바 산제 좀 낸데지 나기 딱 내 결혼적에 동해디마 추 수부트가 샤바 채워나 시시제 동해 투야 된대요 동해 매우서야 요 말에서와 아니 저는 도야동에 차음이 있어서 도야동에서 도와 샘제 탐제 동해 얘기 차게 시시동에 샥주로 시제 파동야 된데게 요 말에서와 얘기 지난주 동해 파 샥주 오퍼레이션도 체제 동야서로 된데게 요 말에서 아니 이게 도과신을 보면 얘기 알아야 타두게 시두터베 똑바 냠도 시스템이 시디 디기데 이 전환을 트랜스미션 해야 된데 게요 말에스다 다운은 예 전환을 로버 가르쳐서나 아니 추니 댐바 댐베 트워지 추니 댐바 댐바스 뭐베네즈 탐람 뭐네즈 랑가르드 산제살도 당게 탐랑게 림바디 이 전환을 땡제 아니 전환도 갈래 잡는 데레스다 다디레 다디 남바 산제바게 조디 고든 디를 랭고다
Okay. So we as Buddhists, we need to know how this works, how the help comes to us. Buddha shows us the path. There is a verse that talks about that clearly. I don't know the beautiful translation of it, but I'll say it in just clear, in simple words. So Buddhas do not clear away suffering with water. They do not take away sentient beings' suffering as if it was an operation like cutting out a tumor from the body. Buddhists do not do that. Neither they do it by transmission, like transmitting the state of happiness into our minds, but rather they do it through showing the stages of the path and teaching on the reality, on what the reality is. And all the hard work has to be done by ourselves.
네, 말하면서 단다 저랑서 가시에 단다 데다 르라 나자 셈바마지거든데 여러 가시를 와. 아니 디 먼저 동해의 대회 저더여는 상망의 셈그 동해 상마 차야게 내가 지 산제신이 된대지요나. 산제 등음마 말하면서 나시 지 셈라 동해 유니다 란진제 유니 마지의 유니 지라요의 동해 유니기 내가 지 알아서 나시 찍버려. 제가 산제에게 저 냠내체 곰잡 아니 저체 아니 대체는 산재고는 다두기 시대 톱성으로 하잖아. 먼저 이마직인데 차 열에서 아니 심숙질 얘기도 알아. 나당하다 뺏어서 당하나기도 나죠도 삼담마담제 아 이마직 나에 배 산재 차야도 없어. 내가 나 지긴 있어. 세미나라 심숙 팔아야 팬도도 하잖아. 네 삼당 산재에 컨데 중요해. 산재 신이지. 소수 산재 연구 유명해 된대가는 상담 남과 산재에 심지 탐재 산재에 누워요. 하나도 심지 탐재라. 아니 산재에 누워 요레스. 이 가래서는 상말로라 산재. 이네 셈기 세리 차들라. 먼저 심지도 셈들라 세리기 차들라. 루비기 티마데 먼저 되자 시단도 코 배대제 대요 말아. 코 내가 질면시지. 춘욕과되라. 배는 마디와다서 마디와다 추녀과데 가디나 녀과데 그 말아 그 갈래야 되나 마 당생 추 당마들 얘기도 배는 난게 띠만 것도 와 찜바 두자드네 망목거도 가디나 고문도 난가 뭐 담회란 신디 되기도 되나 생각도 셈디 담회란 신지 여인다 되게 먼저 산지에게 누가 요래서 셈지 탐제라 디 산지 난과 산지에게 다나네 먼저 빼미시 셈나라 로드지야게 네 내단직 차들이 대상무당도나 빼하고 여러 에스케란즈로
Some of you here are suffering from different illnesses. You may have certain troubles in your life, problems, and your mind may be unhappy. And at these times, it's good to think about Buddha's example, because once upon a time, he was just like us. He had all kinds of problems. And in order to eliminate those problems, he decided to practice Dharma. And he did it, he meditated. And in the end, he achieved the highest result of becoming a Buddha, enlightened. And thinking of his example, we can feel that even among life's problems, we can still have this enthusiasm and feel encouraged to continue our path, to continue purifying our minds. Because we all have the ability to do that, just like Buddha had. And that comes due to the presence of our mind. It's the clarity, the aspect of clarity in our mind that makes it possible, because all the different kinds of stains are just like mud in the water. When water is still, mud goes down and water becomes pure. And if the road is dusty and there is no wind, the dust very slowly goes down, and the air becomes clear. You can see through. You can see far away. So we all have this power due to the presence of our mind, due to the presence of mind in general, and this should encourage us to continue our path.
다 잡던법 산재 군조 대체 아니 잡은 최군조 써야돼 다 단다 가는지 암저를 고도 하다 다지 선바상고체 밀레 펜도체나 개월이샤 직 삼방에 맞은 동네레샤 당연히 마테리네시제 선바상고지체 아니 즉 팬도치드에 내가 지기 삼삼을 땅위나 다가라네 쇼군저 게 수수 짬짬모스 조야 고속 사랑도 삼데 땅도위나 단단해로
So Buddha is the teacher and Dharma is the actual protection, actual refuge. We all hear a lot, be kind because this is virtue, do not do any unwholesome deeds because this becomes non-virtue. So we think, we try to think about benefiting others, and that shows that we have actually started relying on actual refuge, on Dharma.
아니 개체슈디 그래서 수수 양내 양데 다소소게 내가 논루 가르치기도 야가 가르치기도 양세한테 상담단에 개념을 네 논루 순조도서 당연히 걸레를 참샤기 밀레네베를 내가도 지금에서 배낭 안저 미신달라 칙 콘도사드 칙 두자다 보디 랭귀지 두자 땡기이나 안 텔레데네 라마지버스 메마지버스 우도라 라양안저 이모션 로브 두자직레도 아니 지가제로 당 아니 지 타도로 단데레온데 아니 밀레 칙 두자쇼 지 당연한저 만차 그 슈데 슈고 말인데 보디 랭귀지 람사 덴로다 보디 랭귀지 람사 하고다 피저디 데스 안 되게 바로 마지버스 바로 마지노데 바로 되게 주야 보디 랭귀지 두자직 된 칙 두자쇼네 아니 수수 마지버차 동해 연구도 아 데리네 시쟁에 디 참샤게 인서와 밀라 지 보디 랭귀지 두자데 다 띵기면서 칙 두자데 시기면서 라비온데 아니 되네지 디기 동해디 연구만 더 제산다 겹고도 수수수수 겹고도 돼 동해를 겹고도 근데 최근 저 겹세 두스 상당고 되네야 시제고 고속사 되네야 고속으로 상들어
So most important is to analyze again and again, what actions do I do? Do I do any mistakes? If I have any mistakes, I promise to myself that I will not make them again. We speak a lot about body language or body expression, how when the attitude is unwholesome, it's very clearly seen by other people, and we may be rude in our words, we may be also rude in our bodily expression, and others become hurt by what we do and what we show with our bodies. So if we think that from now on I will not be rude in my words and I will not make others feel pain with my body language, my body expression, then this will be enough to think that, okay, I've started actually relying on Dharma. I've started practicing Dharma.
아니 먼저 된대 연구도 냥도 따데데 아니 먼저 다 뭐내줄라 따연데 뭐 탐제 미다거래 뒤제 탐제 미다거래로 뭐 맞다 뭐 버다 뒤제 미다거래더라 깨지 요도 거랬어 텔레라고 니마징한테 시도 거랬다 네 삼내 양서 땅도네 하고라 아니 다 먼저 생 단지기로 봐 다 계산 지지지를 기 땅지로 와대 계산데 직사로 요마라 오네시나 대왕게 나 텔레라고 니마징 알아 시고랬어 봐 뒤뒤에 수부디 샤로 안도 수부라 진지 실제 당상랑 안도 미신다가 수부라 진지 치 휴가고라 안데 단지치 단지왕게 진대요라 아니 수수수부래 단지왕게 진대요라 나 진대요라 근데 왕게 잘라 먹고 싶어 저 대박 냐에 상당한데 아니 원딩지어라 원딩디 마로 다 대박이 처리 되게 아니 네게 다 내가 먹고 싶지 왜 자고라 대박 먹고 잖아 다고 믿다고 깨지 믿다래 시도되네 신이시에도 상물로 시도고도 다들 좀 도마 좀 되는데 뒤제 탐제 믿다고래 송사다 믿다고래 다 뭐에네지 만화도 하고는 뭐에네지 믿다고래 아니 시도도 정말 샤로 강바 샤로 르 정말 르 샤로 그래 초보샤 참모샤도 안 수수지고 돼야 돼. 다시다 착심 지혜 민도상 쌤디 마데 흐르는 수수수수 추군조 냥는 capsin 두스 cap도 거다. 다 두스 수수 동일에 cap다는 바데 미다고 삼다야다. 어디 딘데게 지 수수 지 안 하고도 어떤 일 미다고 삼다야디 미시야고요 레스라 티지랍더라.
So look at the reality. All compounded phenomena are impermanent. They are so-called ngöpo in Tibetan. Ngöpo means a thing or something that is compounded, that is impermanent. And Geshe is joking that it's not ngöpo, which means blue, as he thought, and I mistook in the beginning. But no, I didn't mistake that.
Really? Are you sure?
Really?
Yeah.
So thinking about impermanence will help us understand that one day we'll die. Instead of understanding how everything slowly disintegrates moment by moment, we tend to grasp to everything that's impermanent. Like we grasp to our friends, we grasp to something beautiful, we grasp to our body. And with this grasping, our habit of wanting and desiring and getting things for ourselves grows more and more. Instead of making this habit really strong, we should start thinking and meditating on how everything is impermanent and how it vanishes moment by moment. And how when we die, we need to leave everything behind, whatever we're so attached to. It's our friends, our house, our bodies even. So at this time, who will help us? There is nobody that we can rely on. There is no friend who can be with us and hold our hand. It's the three jewels only that can be our friends and we can rely on. So thinking about that again and again is very important.
아니 나라라 지 로봇이 이제 도스를 봐다. 지 이제 치사 오늘 최근저 captain 뭐 example 와 도마전된 example다. 나 벨렌스 도스 기계 나라라다 파마나시 기계 야고직 도스를 봐. 아니 지 요스 나라라 봐. 아니 로봇이 그 누군저 초보 도모인데 야고 요스를 봐. 오늘 그 생기 동의세 먼저 랑가데도는 나라 생기 동의세 두고 그래 삼단데 나 배된서 야고지 요 삼단데 수수 셈나라 지 로봇이 지 요대베 초실인데 loneliness 레어고랑 요 말다 오늘 신으로 다가나 잡고도 안 거도 다가나 잡으라 거도 동일에 잡서 데르다
So we have friends, and those friends are the three jewels. They are just like our teachers, mentors, like our parents, and especially Sangha, who are our spiritual friends. They are with us, and this feeling of being protected and being assisted by the three jewels is actual protection.
아니 제나한테 심랑감다 셴나 직바 근데 예외가들 에 시우평도 너무마 뭐가 곰발라 익제당으로라 먼저 익제당으로 아니 타와 동다 대 디길 랑고로다야 로 낙스당으로 시우시기도라 안데 그 센나라 산제 지진 잠배한데라 곰라 angaro watching 지진 잠배야 예 야나라 신나 정 매우 잘
So such a thought that I actually do have friends. I have someone who I can rely on helps a lot at the time of fear and worry. I have my own example. I needed to give an exam when I was studying in the monastery, and the exam was really difficult. We needed to debate, and it was really scary. So I meditated on Manjushri and I really felt his presence. And when I stood up after my meditation, there was no fear in my heart.
Mama, Penetu Pera, Peverson Skepticura, Perumura, Penetu Pendi, the Langala. Chanakuna Yongura, Tenla, night time Yongura, and they do touch Shimaba Yamare, then Jami Buddhist Tongura Mami. Go. Naguna, Langa Tongum and the Langa Lara, and a mix them there. Kunjo, Tomajam de Chen, Alanga de Rashes, Melanja. Chick to the road, chick on a row. Kangi Mavat in the Tanda de Lea, the do Langa de Nizi, Yawachi Manata, she said, Langa Monzo Samashisara. Timama wishes are that. The Melam, that Kangi, Tedune, good, that Tombala, Jap Melanja, Melam. Then that's the same Kangi in the Melam Japsaji, you know. Those 이제 라라레도 이제 유나 지레기 열다 이제 매나 가고라다고.
There's a good example about Tibetans, how they had to leave Tibet and to go on the road in the mountains at the night time because they should not be caught by Chinese police. And it was really scary. They had to go during the night and they couldn't see the road clearly. So the only thing they were left with is just to close their eyes and pray. And it's been so many times when they could have died, but it didn't happen. They finally made it. And it's important to know that if we have something or someone to pray to, it will help us. But it's also very important to have faith, because without faith, it becomes really a little difficult.
That the Sanjay like Tombajum de Iji level chiala, Sanjay Sungshan yo de Tajeshan, when I re Mareta or Dena, and Yicheve Tevala de Ligra.
In order to, for the trust, for the belief to come, one needs to analyze what Buddha said, whether it's true or not. And this is how trusting faith comes about.
Anil Haward Maranzo, that's all Moganala. Ane Chanjusimbe Labja Javin, in the Sungda Migi Semje Tayon, the Junjunala Sungda Junjunala, and Migi Semje Tanans, Migi Semje Tanans, Migi Semje Tana, Tedanila Teneta Sanje knew the Juro shit, Tashi Chambe Semjitas, on the Migi Semje Tanayans, on the Migi Semje La Tayon, on the Migi Semje Tongora, Mitoyangora, Tundu Toyangora. The la TNS or Conservative la TNS, and Sanjay Kumato Yores, Carisana, and then Yinji Jora, Sanjila, Yinji Jeva, Dungeton, Yinji Jagdo, Yinji Jeva de la Dene, Chanjusum Jayore, Chanjusum Jana, and Sanjay Kumato Yungore. There's a Sanjay Kumato, Semje Tadal Dene, Sanjay Kuma, Taduk Digi, Semje Tadal in the Togores. Cheza, and does it among all Gadin Chambores, as it does among a TV Uris. 도저 상황 알아배 참조나니 파말렐 하가이 삼배네 삼로된 레지 거네 미기 따두이네 삼로된 레지 단제네 따고레스 다디 총을 그날 삼단토면은 간대야고 더와 대요는 먼저 밀라 딘심 계기 말에 차도 계기 말에 나제 계기 말에 되자 계기 말에 콘도 계기 말에 로 되게만 텐좀 더바 계기 말에 이제리 그래 다나 먼저 지도돼 이제 요만다. 그래. 단대 지도라. 이제 요 말에 참바 요 말에 세와 요 말에 라자르다. 디네 안 지도나면 수수 유적으로 수수 수적으로 하대. 말한도 수수 수셔나. 수수 지도돼 차용으로. 수수 나라 되올리 그래. 수수 빈자를 되올리 그래. 수수 롱발을 되올리. 두두두 세정한다. 동의 수수 동의를 잡도 그래. 수수 동의를 잡는 수수 빈자 잡초 그래. 두 채네당 그 최근 저 잡고 인사야 돼. 어디 배 상무 망부다요 그래서. 어디 또 이제 daily practice over daily 니만님에게 처연하네. 아무든데 단tum나 다 찍도스라. 뒤직 채나 찍도스. 찍레기도 처와지 레기도. 처와지 될 레기도나 다 돼야 그래. 제마저 nga nang바이 nga 지지지 nga 니니 가들라나 말라나 셈나라 초와드메나 나 민잠 그 낭바래로 제 낭바디 생이 상하지 말해 그냥 먼저 낭바 생이 상하지고는 셈나라 내 초월래 초와질래나 아니 다 신들 전에 최선이디 야고인 봐 최선이디 cap트가 최선이디 지도를 그거요 먼저 낭미를 그거요 심장에 깜반이 되려고 전부 링을 펜토고 하고 있는데 아니 신들 수수수수해야지 형이 메제디 내가 저 첨부지 지에도 삼배 엘랭겐도 당 수수수수 로드비야 펜도 전부 요레스로
So especially in everyday life, we need to think about Buddha's advice. There are words in the text that I'll try to translate. So the ones who we see with our own eyes, the sentient beings who we see with our own eyes, it's due to their kindness that I attain Buddhahood. Because when I see their suffering, I have the opportunity to generate compassion in my heart. And therefore, they're very kind to me, just like my kind parents. They become the objects of my love and affection. And if we meditate on that every day, it would be just wonderful, because this produces just the right attitude. And if we have such an attitude, there is no feeling of competition with others. There's no attachment or aversion to others. And instead, we cultivate trust. To be honest, in modern society, there's not much trust and affection and love, but we have the power to cultivate this trust in ourselves from our own side individually. And if we protect ourselves, we can gradually be of benefit to our close ones, and then to a bigger group of people, and then to the society and to the earth in general. And if you think every day about this, more and more, the thought becomes deeper, and the real feeling comes. And it's just so wonderful to have this feeling. Otherwise, when we say, I'm a Buddhist, I'm this and I'm that, it just becomes mere words, because we do not have any feeling that supports the words. And instead, we need to become real, like fully qualified Buddhists with all the, let's say, with all the signs that show, with all the aspects of being a Buddhist. And if we follow this path, we can benefit our family or society and take the responsibility and transform ourselves and the world.
Do
you have any questions?
Nick, do you have question? Nick, please come, Nick. I mean, okay. Yeah, they shall stop here.
Okay, we'll stop here.
Yeah.
Page 33 in the prayer book.
Sashi, Bushi, Jushi, Medo, Dan, Rera, Lishi, Ninde, Jampa, Sanje, Shinde, Mide, Böbö namda jinla ju bara sho.
Jetsun
Ame
lame
buzen ra pienshin. Namga tinle choju jewa. Lo san tenbe dweme sasum ji. Dwebe gwese tadu me ju. Idang guru renda mendela kamniya daya. Yöde da lama sanje doju ne dowa chi jama le ba di sala go para sho temjo rembo chi ma je bana je yu chi je wa nyamba me wa kone konde pe para sho.
Whatever slight positive potential I may have created by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this to the full awakening. I dedicate all these fruits of virtues with the dedication praised as the best, by the victorious ones thus gone into the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva deed. May the King of Dharma, Tsongkhapa's way of Dharma practice flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified, and all the conducive circumstances be complete. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling joy, source of all everything, benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who makes extremely clear the path whose unification of emptiness and compassion. To the lotus holder, Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. By relying on the two accumulations of myself and others in the 3 times, may the teachings of the conqueror Losang Drakpa blaze for a very long time.
Do you check something there in chat?
Minto.
Two mare.
Minto.
Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Good night.